Hello, my name is Michael O'Keefe, aka The Movie Wizard. If you enjoy this interview and want to hear more top-notch film industry conversations, please press the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell to stay in the know. Hello, Nabwana I.G.G. How was this wonderful thing known as Wakaliwood born?
Yeah, Wakaliwood is fine. Is the film industry is a young one, but it is growing very fast. So it is cool here. People are happy with the progress of Wakaliwood.
Of course they are, as they should be. And so one thing that's interesting is you guys assemble computers from spare parts. How do you do that? How did you teach yourself to do that?
Yeah, the truth is when I was starting the studio, when I wanted to enter into film production, the first challenge I found was that it was the computer, because I knew that all the biggest part is going to be the computer. Acting is not bad. It's not difficult for me. I mean, the only challenge I thought was a computer, because everything has got to be edited. So that's why I thought it's better to first find the knowledge of how to assemble a computer. By the time, it was very, very, very expensive to assemble a computer. I mean, to install even software on a computer. It was very expensive. So repairing a computer was very expensive. That's why I decided to look for some knowledge. Yes, I went to a school which was called it was Praise Electronics, where they were teaching computer repair. But the problem is that I did not have enough money. So what I did is I went there for 1 month. And I learned a little. I learned a little, and then I used that little knowledge I came back home, and then I started teaching myself with the help of the real computer which I had at home. So I tried to assemble it and then reassemble it.
That's incredible. So your movies are very fun, and you seem to be having a lot of fun doing what you're doing. So what do you tell people who are too stiff and too boring? How do you tell someone to loosen up a little bit and just enjoy life?
Yeah, for me, when I'm making a movie, is normally what I consider is comedy, because for me, I think life without comedy is not life. So even the movies, for me, what I do is even if I'm teaching you, I always have to keep, I make it fun. Because if even learning is fun, that's when you will learn very fast. So even when we are watching my movies, you will see that it is fun. It is not, as some people say, it is violence or what. For me, I call it action comedy, not action violence. Otherwise, if there wasn't that life of, comedy or fun, people would not enjoy them. It would mean bored. But in this world, as I'm speaking right now, in this stressful world, people need a lot of comedy, need a lot of fun in whatever we are doing. For instance, let me give you an example of a church. Nowadays, people don't humble themselves and play. What they do, they always, put their arms up, and then they start, chasing Satan or something that with a lot of, energy, and something that really, it is that sort of violence, I could even call it. When they're calling God, they always even raise their, voices up, which is not the past. So I believe that nowadays, because the world is congested with a lot of people, it is becoming more stressful with a lot of things, a lot of work, a lot of problems and what. So we need at least something which is a little bit sort of like violence, but with action. I mean, with comedy and action.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give you a hypothetical. Let's say you go to Los Angeles, California, and a Hollywood executive says, "I want you to make an action movie for me in Hollywood." Would you let them pitch you a project?
Yeah, I think I can make it there. I think according to what I've seen in Hollywood movies, there's a lot of things they don't do. Maybe I don't know what they consider, but for me, I would make it there. There's nothing. I wouldn't even need them to advise me on what to do. I will do what I feel I can do, because I've done it here in Wakaliwood, so I can also do it in Hollywood. The only thing is that I would use it maybe in the way they don't use it. I mean, they don't use the locations they have. I might use it in a different way.
All right, that's interesting. So, who's your favorite action movie star of all time?
Yeah, I think it is Chuck Norris. Yeah, there are many, but
Yeah.
yes, Schwarzenegger, Dorothy Randall-Green, Rambo, Jack Chan, all are good, but I think Chuck Norris was my favorite from childhood. The reason is when I was young, some of the movies I first saw were on a TV at home in black and white were Clint Eastwood's movies, The Cowboy. So when the cinema halls started in Uganda, outside the cinema hall, I used to see the posters of a Chuck Norris man. That man holding it was unique in that he had a cap like a cowboy, and the pants like of a cowboy, and he was holding a big gun instead of a pistol. So he became my favorite even from the poster itself. Because I was an artist, in fact, even now I'm an artist as in drawing. So I liked his way of holding the gun in like a cowboy's shoot.
Tell me about Eaten Alive in Uganda.
Yeah, Eaten Alive in Uganda is a movie which is coming. It's going to be an horror movie, the first of its kind, where we're going to see a Muzungu, white man eaten in Uganda also. But the story was inspired from the news when a man claimed that his wife was eaten alive when he was watching, and in fact his wife was pregnant. So he said that, and it is I think it is still a court case. But for me, it really inspired me to make a movie of that because I never believed that it really happened. In fact, we had to travel to the area where the guy was claiming that his wife was eaten. For me, I'm not a judge because it's still a court case. I don't judge, but I believe it did not happen. But for me, I thought it's better I make a movie out of this, and let me also include a white man being eaten in the same place to make it a little bit longer. But it is going to have cannibals and also zombies at the same time. It is the first of its kind here.
That sounds incredible. Would you want to hit the road and promote Wakaliwood?
Come again?
Like, would you like to travel and promote Wakaliwood? Like, go to North America, Europe, and go to screenings and stuff like that?
Yes, I would like to promote my art and also meet other artists. I was in France last month, I think. The last 3 months, I was in France, and I met some people, wonderful people, fans there, and we had a lot of chatting and talking about discussing movies. I think I would love also to promote my works and Wakaliwood all over the world. If I can do it myself, it would be better because I know I have fans from all over the world. Yes, I'm doing Skype. I'm like today morning, I had 2 Skypes. I spoke with people from Canada and those ones in Colorado, and it was wonderful, talking to them. I wish I was talking to them there in the theater. It would mean a lot, I think, even the fans.
I think you're absolutely right. I think we would be lucky to have you hit the road and go to theaters. It'd be great. I was wondering, though, as a writer, how long does it take you to write a script?
Normally, when writing a script is not a big problem to me because when I get the idea, I write it halfway and then I do the rest when I'm shooting.
Oh, that's interesting. So what do you say to losers who can't make a movie, but you've made so many?
Come again?
What do you say to people who are in places with more money than Uganda, but they can't get off their butts to make a movie, yet you've made so many movies and you've done such interesting work?
Yeah, what I would tell them is that they should not consider money first. Movie should be art and should be fun. So they should first consider the art they're going to to display, because art is a God-given thing. So they should know that we are here for a short period. We are not here to stay. So they should, God gave you something. Why don't you, utilize what God gave you instead of, thinking that, let me use the man-made, thing that is money. to control you, because money is a man-made thing which should not control us human, because we are also God-made. So I believe art is a God-given thing that we have to deliver, other people to it is like worshiping God. Because if I do something and it goes all over the world and it's loved, that is a sign of God's power. God gave me that, and then I'm doing it. So we should believe in God. We should be God believers. I mean, we should be believers.
All right. And what is the future of Wakaliwood?
Yeah, the future of Wakaliwood, I wish I could get land, like 10 hectares of land, and I set up a big studio there for to teach younger generations. I'm doing it on this small scale land which I have here, but I wish I get that big land and I teach many young artists. I give them a chance. Like now, I'm also looking for talents from different ghettos here, different areas, villages. That is what my dream is, and to put their permanent, locations, because sometimes it's very difficult to get a location here. But if I can put their locations, because some locations are always the same, like the forest. If you have a forest, so many movies can be done in one forest, and it's because forests are always forests, trees are trees. So I believe a street is a street. If I can make one street and we just paint it different, and then it looks another one. So I believe if I get that land and I put on that would be the dream of Wakaliwood. Wakaliwood would be the best. I want it to be the biggest action movie studio on the continent of Africa.